Hypnotherapy is meditation with a goal. That's what I call it. Meditation with a goal. So if anyone has ever attempted to meditate, you know right off the bat, when you first close your eyes, you're not floating on cloud 9 with no thoughts at all. Normally the first time you meditate, you're kind of itching around and there's all these thoughts. And that can happen too with hypnosis, but it's with a goal. So rather than just attempting to quiet the mind, the goal is to stop nail biting or lose weight or overcome the fear of public speaking. So it's just meditation with a goal. Right now, the barrier to entry to becoming a hypnotherapist is pretty low, meaning it's pretty simple to become a hypnotherapist, which is great if you want to be professional and ethical, but it also means there's a lot of people out there doing that stage show stuff that's not my favorite. So I actually founded my own school because I wanted to make sure that we up the integrity of becoming a hypnotherapist. So for my school, it's 250 hours, which still is pretty short compared to, going to school for a PhD for 7 years, something like that. But it's phenomenal. It's all online courses, and you learn so much about the mind, you learn so much about the subconscious, and then there's 2 different times where you come study with me live in person throughout the course of the 250 hours online. And so when you become a hypnotherapist, you have to understand how the subconscious works. The subconscious is where all your habits, all your emotional beliefs, all of your thought processes are stored. So you have to be able to access that directly if you want to make a change. And speaking to the subconscious is pretty interesting. There's a lot of negotiating that happens. You kind of feel like you're an attorney. There's a lot of metaphor that you can use in order to relay information without saying it directly. It's pretty fascinating. And most of the hypnotherapy I do is based in something called Ericksonian hypnosis, based on Milton Erickson. And it's a fascinating journey. You heal so much when you study hypnotherapy because you have to practice so much in school. So you're giving a session and then you're receiving a session. My clients who just graduated, or not my clients, rather my students who just graduated, couldn't believe how much of their own stuff they overcame just through the school, because you have to do it. And so it's wonderful for self-development, but also to be able to give back to your community. It's extremely frustrating. It's extremely frustrating because when I worked in corporate America and in fundraising, everybody respected that job. But I never heard in my life, not even one day at that job, you saved my life, or you changed my life. In hypnotherapy, I hear it every day. I hear it multiple times a day because hypnotherapy is life-changing. And so the stigmas that really Hollywood have put out into the world, where it's just a very useful tool. You don't know how to explain what's happening next in the plot of a movie? The hypnotist made it happen. And I think it's lazy, and I think it's detrimental and it's dangerous. Because every time someone associates hypnotherapy with mind control, which it isn't, and every time someone associates hypnotherapy with a joke, which it isn't, they're going to dismiss something that could radically improve their life rather quickly. And I find that incredibly frustrating. You might think after all this time, all these years, I'd just be relaxed, like, oh, people can have a laugh. But I'm actually becoming more vehement as time goes on that this is dangerous and it's hurtful. Not only for the practitioner, but for the people who then don't use the tool because they're afraid of what it might be. And I want to explain why it isn't mind control real quickly, if you think about it. If hypnosis were actually mind control, if you could actually make someone do something they didn't want to do, all hypnotherapists would be billionaires. Special interest groups would hire them. Governments would hire them. Businesses would hire them to hypnotize you. And so the efficacy of hypnosis is predicated upon how much you want the result, which is the opposite of mind control. Meaning if someone came to me and they said, I want to quit smoking, but I love smoking, and I actually don't want to quit, I just know it's good for me, I'll say, you know what, let's work on something else first. Something you really do want. Because the more you want the result, the faster you're going to see the result. And so, yeah, it's frustrating, the stigmas. I would say at first, it was the people who were closest to me kind of thinking I had lost my mind. That was hard. That was frustrating because I went from being this party animal to being someone who wasn't partying at all and was leaving my career in corporate America where I was doing very well to become a hypnotherapist. It was such a 180 shift that my friends at the time couldn't wrap their head around it. And I got a lot of kind of passive aggressive, like, are you okay? This isn't gonna last. It's a weird phase you're going through kind of comments. And now it's been over 5 years. A lot of those same people are actually coming to me for sessions now. And their lives have transformed. And because of social media, people I think are just more open-minded. They can find information more quickly. But in the beginning, it was scary. It was terrifying to change my identity so much because people misunderstood hypnosis so much.
Thank you for watching A Wise Way. Subscribe to stay updated, share to pass the knowledge, or view our other videos on the left.